Hi, it's Rabbi Lewis, and with a heavy heart today, I wish you a Shabbat shalom. It's been a couple days that we've had to reflect on the horrible shooting that took place in Washington, D.C. a couple nights ago, and a senseless, cruel, targeted act of violence against the Jewish community, against people who are not only Jewish, but also support Israel, as most Jewish Americans do. I don't know this couple. Sarah Milgram grew up in the same suburb of Kansas City as me. She graduated from the same high school, Shawnee Mission East, as I did. She graduated from the same University of Kansas, as I did. Our pictures are on the same wall at Congregation Beth Torah, 24 confirmation classes apart. So I don't know her, but I know her. And so many people in my close inner circle are closely connected with her and her family. And so it stings. Even if I didn't feel close, even if I didn't have those connections, it would sting. Every Jewish person in America and around the world feels the sting from being targeted because of a war that's happening in Israel, and having that violence come back to our own soil, in our nation's capital especially. It doesn't make sense. It's horrible and it's awful. And I'll say also, I don't know Yaron, but I know him. A young man, successful, bright, in love, his whole future ahead of him. We can all understand that. And taken down by a senseless act of hate, along with his fiance, who is, well, soon to be fiance, who was standing by his side. Fills us with anger, fills us with fear. And the question that we have to answer is, what do we do about that anger and our fear? You know, we have security measures that we take here to try and protect ourselves. They had security measures at the museum in Washington. They can't be perfect. But we can't be so afraid that we forget about living to be Jewish. We can't be so afraid that we forget about our core values of reaching out and repairing the world around us, of working to make peace, even when it seems that the people around us don't want us to be partners in peace. That's hard. But it doesn't mean that we should stop. Pirkei Avot, it's not up to us to complete the work, but we are not free to refrain from it. We continue on the course that we know is right. You can't respond to anger with more anger. It doesn't work. You can't respond to hate with more hate. It never leads to a peaceful ending. And to respond to violence with even more violence also puts you in an endless cycle. I don't know exactly what the answers are, but I can tell you I'm pretty sure I know what the answers aren't right now. Our Torah portion this week is Behar-Bechukotai. It's a double portion. And in Bechukotai, it talks about blessings and curses. Blessings if you follow the eternal commandments, and curses if you choose to turn away from them. And I think this tells us, not if we examine it commandment by commandment, because, you know, not every single individual commandment is enduring. But it tells us that we should be aware what our core principal values are. And when we know those, they are eternal. And not even one terrible event or a series of terrible events should sway us away from believing in what those core principal values are. We have to maintain those. If we're ever going to reach a better time, a better place, a time of security, not just for us here, but for everyone around the world, we have to maintain those core principles. And that's how you achieve blessings. And it's never meant to be easy. never meant to be easy. The easy thing is to forget them and leave them behind. And that's the path that the Torah portion is telling us leads to curses. We gotta mourn, we gotta grieve, and yes, we're angry. But it's what we do with this anger that's gonna define us in this moment. Us collectively, as Jews, as Americans, as Jewish Americans, Zionists who believe in progressive and liberal Zionism that brings equality for everyone within the land. Let us be always cautious about how we respond, but let us also take the time to put our arms around each other, to think about two families who lost their children, communities who lost future leaders, and this broken sense of security that we have right now, that loss as well. Anyhow, I do wish you a Shabbat Shalom. I think in response to the madness in the world, it's appropriate that we have another Shabbat with purpose this evening, in which a speaker, Luis Caballero, will be talking about faith-based action towards welcoming strangers, immigrants in our communities, and addressing, a good way to respond to people who are different around us. And maybe we can model that lesson and other people will follow suit eventually. Message a little longer than I usually give on a Friday morning, but I think it's just so important that we talk about it today. Shabbat Shalom.